Yeah, so AMRS, that was... Yeah,
that all happened in that period that I was not in the club,
okay.
so I was
Yeah, like
unsure as to what happened.
everyone moved across to AMRS. We got our insurance through AMRS, and then a bunch of fires went through the country, and then a bunch of floods went through the country. And for AMRS to keep providing insurance, was going to push membership up to like $500 a person. So that was when
insurance has always been an interesting issue.
And that was when we moved back to Tripoli, and Tripoli, thankfully, I think recognised you could transfer your AMRS cert to Tripoli. Thankfully,
When we were first incorporated, we had to get $250,000 public liability. So I started hunting around to try and get public liability insurance. And you'd ring up a company and say, I need to get a public liability insurance for a club, non-profit organisation. What do you do? And they would come back and they'd come back with a calculated premium based on the fact that we were launching rockets, and they'd come back with a premium of $18,000 per annum. And they were imagining something akin to, shuttle type disasters and things of that nature. So we had a lot of trouble getting insurance initially, and I think we ended up getting it at a relatively reasonable price based on the fact that it was model rocketry, not high-powered rocketry. And I don't know if they fully understood what model rocketry was. They thought we made models of rockets.
And it didn't fly.
That didn't fly, but that was a little bit of an issue, I suppose. But I remember at one stage we were paying insurance on a month-by-month basis, and we knew that we had to get like 3 or 4 members each month, or we could not afford the insurance for the subsequent month. And, and that was I think that was very stressful for Ryan McDonald, who was the treasurer at the time, to make sure we had enough to cover our outgoings.
That was 2007.
About 2007.
Going into 2008, when I took over, that's right. You have to chase around. You have to collect the money at every launch. So you have to go around and
we started doing sausage sizzles and all sorts of things. And then we found that eventually we could, sausage sizzles and donations at the gate were sort of covering insurance costs.
Then we had public launches. Now, there was one around about the time of the anniversary of the moon landing. Oh, there were thousands of people turned up.
2,000. We had no idea of the exact number, but we had them. They were parked right up to the top of the far hill, up near where the road goes in to for the
wastewater.
For the wastewater now, and both sides of the road.
Oh, you mean the main road, right up the top of the hill? Just a suit of grave, basically.
So my very first launch, that may have been it.
Yeah.
And I remember parking up near the Christopher's house, right up the top of the road there, and having to walk all the way down the road to get in, and it was just jam-packed. I thought, is it like this every month?
Well, sort of, not every month, but public launches. But it was about $3 a year, wasn't it?
Yeah, dollar coin donation to get in, and gold coin donation to get in the gate. And that was, and then at the sausage sizzle, we used to run out of people to serve sausages.
And run out of sausages too.
And Len is organising the one this year.
Is it? Well, that's at Cove Sky, isn't it?
Cove Sky,
It's 2 months away.
So it's interesting. I didn't consider adding public launches to the list of items. When did they start? And
they were every second.
Every second launch.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which meant anything was highly experimental. And when I say experimental, something you weren't sure of, streamer recoveries or whatever, you didn't want to,
They were alternative launches.
They were private launches.
Okay.
Public launches where come set up on the flight line and bring your deck chair and
okay.
So I went to the launch in December,
and that's what you'd have seen in the Courier Mail advertising it.
That's right.
Advertising.
And then the next month, in January, it's going to be a non-public launch. I sort of found out. I came along, and I found out that most of the people weren't happy about it.
Yeah.
Who was the other guy that came along as well? Probably someone else. He joined about the same time, could have been Mike Gritter or whatever. Anyway, some of the older people weren't particularly thrilled that a new member, because they just joined, was coming along to a non-public launch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're still a member of the club, and
Well, I just joined.
Yeah.
Yeah, they. Anyway, after a while, it didn't take long, and they got used to me being there because I never missed. And
yeah, one of the things I always felt was interesting was that there was this initial reluctance by club members. Everyone wants to fly rockets. And that probably still the case. Everyone wants to fly a rocket, but no one wants to be the RSO. No one wants to be the LTA.
Yep.
And I don't know how I ever got given the microphone because I have one of the worst voices for radio or for there. But you'd end up just talking to yourself. You realise that most people weren't listening anyway.
Yeah.
And you just talk for the sake of talking. And I did LCO from about 2007, must have been to almost 2013, and I could never get anyone to come and give me a hand. A couple of people came and would occasionally volunteer to hop on the end of the microphone because I don't know what to say, And it wasn't a very, and our launch infrastructure at that point in time was pretty simple.
Yeah.
A battery and a switch. And
that did progress quite a bit over the years.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it? Yeah.
Like up until 2015.
We had auto electricians building it and all sorts of
That's
things.
Wow. Yeah.
And then I think Brian Dixon used to be the RSO, and he was there for probably 2007 to quite late in the piece.
He came out to Thunder, and we hadn't seen him for a couple of years, and he brought his two boys out.
Yeah,
but
they'd been men by that time. Yeah.
No, they were teenagers.
Yeah.
And we hadn't seen Brian for a couple of years, but he was sort of the brains of the show really in the early days.
Okay.
Because Blake was there when I first started. Blake launched this rocket, and then he joined the army and trained as a helicopter pilot.
Yep.
So we didn't see Blake at all for quite a few years.
Okay.
He was still involved in importing motors.
Yep.
So we'd go around to his place occasionally and stack up on motors, and Peter Nicklick used to come to launches. Well, we didn't see Blake because he was off with the army.
Wow.
But then he turned up again.
Yeah, I think his stint with the army ended abruptly.
Came to an end.
He was quite old. He was an older person going into it. He was probably 23, 25.
Yeah.
And I think he had spent too many years outside of the armed forces to adapt, to be flexible enough.
To their culture.
Yeah, to their culture.
Len, do you want to show us what you've got there as well?
Okay. In 2012, I was made a life member of the club, and and not to say beyond that, I was sort of, it was just part of it. I probably, after being made a life member, I was probably 2 or 3 years after this, I had ceased coming to launches, just because of my personal circumstances.
But now you're back.
Now I'm back.
Yes. Awesome. So, how did this get presented? Was that at a launch day, or was that
I forget now. I think it was an AGM, was it?
No, it's a launch day.
A launch day. Yeah.
Because the first one was Blake. And I think you said that it was assumed by the committee that
we weren't going to see Blake.
We weren't going to see him again
because he joined the army, and we thought, well, he'll never be back.
He'll have a career in the army.
I'm trying to think who was next. Army.
Don't know.
Then myself and Peter Nicklick got that on the same day, and then I think Warren.
I don't know who else after that.
I think
Warren's about 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago. I think he's the last life member.
Yeah, okay.
I have been in organisations where almost every member of the committee is a life member, and I don't know that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, all life members don't have to pay membership fees.
Well, on small organisations with diminishing basis, So when's Matt's life membership coming up? It should be. The services you've provided to Rocketry are immense.
The difference is no one really cares what my contribution's been.
Yeah.
Whereas you guys at the founding days, the early days. Yeah, I don't know. There's
But you've
actually
kept it going. You've kept
kept the flame burning,
Yeah.
which could have gone out altogether.
we've got a policy there on Mega somewhere, about nominations and stuff. But yeah, look, I'll be there for a while yet.
I would have
And I
thought,
hope you two guys will be there with me.
I would have thought you sort of need to get the club sort of more energised, and then it would be.
Yeah,
And
look,
then it would be, when you can hand the baton over to someone new. That's sort of when you'd be thinking, well, this guy's been doing it for 10 years or whatever, and
he's burnt out.
certainly,
Now, clearly, you can edit out of this what you wish to edit out of this. But probably at some stage we need to have a discussion about what we do moving forward.
Plan a long-term succession plan.
I've spoken to. So for me, the club has, I guess, stagnated a bit, and there's reasons for that. Primarily amongst
people that don't clubs that can't launch. Don't live long.
Primarily, motor availability is one thing that's hurt us, and lack of a high altitude site is another thing. So, I originally planned to try and resolve those, then move on. But not resolved yet, but I think we're getting close enough. And I've spoken to someone in the committee about taking over, but he expressed zero interest. so it's getting someone that's younger than me that still has a bit of energy and enthusiasm.
That's
One
important.
one thing that Dave Boyd said was the president, I think, of VRA is a student. So someone like that would be good, but then we don't have students kind of attending regularly. When you have a look at how much energy Takia has, their drive and knowledge of all the latest stuff, so something like that would be good. But we'll see how we go.
Excuse me, George, that licorice has got me. That's all right.
That's okay. Thank you. So that's my thinking at this point in time. Why not leave it better than what I arrived at? Now, that's something we touched on a lot earlier. It's I guess a bit of a side topic, but something I'd forgotten about as well. Hobby One. Now, I first started when that was Gabba Hobbies, I think it was called. So I don't know if you guys had ever visited there at that time, and if so, or if not, what are your, I guess, memories of those days?
Wasn't that Hobby One in Carindale?
Yeah, out that One Creek Road.
Yes, that's the one. Was it?
And we had
Green Meadow and Creek.
We had a recruiting day there a number of years ago.
Yep.
And they were quite supportive. Paul Kleitchen no longer, we replaced his pamphlets.
Yeah, I've seen the photo. But Hobby One is Gabba Hobbies, so they moved from full of Gabba to Green Meadow and Creek.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that's where we met Cart for the first time.
Yep.
And when I first recall Cart coming along, and we had a 2 or 3 hour stint there from Saturday at midday to whenever they closed, and I think Cart came out and spoke to us for almost that entire length of time.
Wow. Yep.
So we've had a and all of a sudden I think there was a big issue with regard to they were getting their motors from Dawn Trading and their suppliers from Dawn Trading. And there was a big fallout with ARA. And
do I remember correctly, when you bought a pack of motors, you had to sign a form?
Any motor, even A's.
A Hobby One, I think, traditionally would have on hand white powder motors up to. I don't even think they had E's. I think the D's were probably the larger ones that they would have, and you had to get anything in from overseas or from who was the company? It might have been Dawn Trading.
I thought it was Dawn Trading.
Yeah, Dawn Trading. You could order direct from them. They were expensive, but nowhere near as expensive as what they were. I think Blake had bought in a container load of motors, and that made the availability of low powered motors a lot easier. All that helped.
It also put a dent in the business of Hobby One too.
Yeah, they did not. Yeah.
So they've relocated and renamed a couple of times, I think.
That happens with many companies.
Yeah, I haven't been there for a long time. And I think Dawn Trading was bought by Hobbies Australia as well.
Oh,
So
yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
around in some form.
Yeah, they had the same problem when Blake started bringing in large quantities of motors. It affected everyone else that was importing motors.
Yep.
I think no one truly appreciates how small the rocketry community in Australia is,
Yep.
and it's probably ever likely to be.
Yep.
You know, when you see people like Aerotech move away from, you know, hobby motors and they sell to, you know, government contractors, etc.
Yep.
You know, that's in the US.
Yep.
And Cesaroni particularly.
Yeah, Cesaroni. You know,
I don't know.
not even wanting to bring motors into Australia.
I don't even know if they're manufacturing motors for the hobby market anymore. I don't know. Certainly the guys at Endeavour Aerospace don't expect CTI deliveries at the time. So I'm not sure why that is.
Yeah, so you hear all these rumours on forums and other sort of discussions about, you know, Endeavour's going to be bringing back Cesaroni, but no one probably told Endeavour.
But even the people in Australia possibly planning on manufacturing propellant will be using Aerotech hardware.
That makes sense.
So what is there that big a difference between Aerotech and CTI, or is it the fact that those black cases or whatever on the CTI difficult to manufacture? What's your
No,
understanding, George?
Cesaroni motors were way easier to operate.
Yeah.
To assemble and operate, as you would know.
You almost need a degree to assemble an Aerotech motor and have it not fail. You know, get your O-rings round the wrong way.
To give you an idea, Alex put together an Aerotech motor, but he didn't understand he had different size O-rings at the front and the back.
Yes.
And one was 3/16 and one was an 8, whatever it was. But he didn't know what that meant, so he had them back to front. So then it became a Roman candle. It was very spectacular, but the rocket didn't lift off at all.
Unbelievable, yeah. I definitely remember those days.